Yo, and welcome back. I'm B-rad Fresco, the Jack Pencil, and this is Dungeon Doodles, where I doodle dungeons. But today I'm trying my hand at world maps, with a bit of Mario flavor. As always, music is provided by Lokedog at reverbnation.com/lokedoutrecords1. Check out his beats, but let's get into me doodling some world maps. Now, I really didn't have a plan of attack for these maps at all, just kinda wanted to dive in and try my hand at some world maps, because that's one thing I'm lacking in my campaigns and all that, are nice detailed world maps for my players to look at and whatnot. So the only way to get better is to just try. So here I am, trying it out, just kind of winging it. My idea was to have some floating lands in the sky, and so that's what I'm going with. And I'm really just having fun with this one, kind of making it kind of really silly. So as I was going along, making this little land in the sky, I decided to call it the Lands of Ermagerd and the Kingdom of Ermafur, with the Ermafur King Gerd sitting on the throne. But I added a lot of little silly locations in there. I ended up putting the Dungeon of the Ogre Pig in there from previous videos I've done. Also did kind of like a death mountain with a skull on it, and another mountain with the dragon face on it, kind of where a volcano or a dragon lair lies. But I was really just kind of winging it as I went. But I figured, come up with a few good ideas, and still could probably use it for some campaign. The magical lands of Ermagerd, can only get to it by climbing a magical beanstalk if your party ever gets a hold of some magic beans. The fun little land for them to explore, the lands of Ermagerd. And again, a big shout out to JP Couvert on YouTube. I watched a lot of his videos, and one of his Mario style map making videos inspired me to do this one and really start trying my hand at doing some world maps. I think my campaigns and my players would really benefit from seeing the actual world that they're playing in drawn out for them. Alrighty, you can really see it coming together now. Adding in all the color and outlining, detailing. Still wasn't fully satisfied, I must say, when I finished this one. But like I said, I just had to get my hands in and start trying. You won't get better unless you practice. So this was definitely a practice world. The world of Ermagerd. But I should let all of you know that I have started my own Patreon page, where you can go and become a member for $1 a month, and that'll give you access to all my drawn dungeons and worlds and homebrewed monsters. I got the Ogre Pig monster stat block up there, the Ogre Pig dungeon, all the other dungeons, and a few other dungeons I've actually drawn that I haven't done videos for. So You'll have access to all of that at patreon.com/dungeondoodles. Check me out and support an aspiring artist so I can maybe buy some better paper and pens and markers and whatnot, because those things are expensive. Dollar store for now. And here we have it, the Skylands of Ermagerd, with the Kingdom of Irmafur, where Irmafur King Gerd rules over all and protects his people from the evil dragon of Mount Dragon and the necromancer of Death Mountain and the ogre pig in his ogre pig dungeon. I even have a cow dungeon there, so maybe it's the ogre pig and the Etten cow. But yeah, I've got a few locations scattered throughout there. You could have fun with your party and your team, but I think in the end I still wasn't fully happy with this. But like I said, this was a practice one, and I was just practicing, so I think I'm going to start again on a new one. Okay, starting fresh. Still kind of just winging it, not much of a plan in mind. I have a few more ideas, but saw ways I could improve as I was doing the first one, and I'm trying to apply those improvements onto this one. And in the next map I make after that, I'll just apply more improvements, and that's how people get better at drawing. But once again, I didn't really have a plan as I was drawing this, but I came up with one as I was doing it. So I am drawing out the lands of Zindelfin. Might add this continent to my world, but maybe not. Either way, it can be added to anybody's world, because it's the lands of Zindelfin, cut off by the rest of the world, whatever world you want to place it in, by mystical cloud barriers. And they have the magical crystal of Zindelfin sits atop a tall rocky pier on top of the tallest hill on the lands of Zindelfin, and it gives all the magic to the lands, and allows it to be fertile and lush and bountiful for its people, and keep everything kind of in check and balanced. But something the crystal goes missing, and so the lands become less bountiful, and it just so happens that this time of it's come to the anniversary when the big beast, the Grenger stag, wakes from its slumber, and it needs to be satiated, and the dragon of Mount Cthulhu, the volcanic mountain of Mount Cthulhu, where the dragon has his lair. He requires offerings and tithings to keep him at bay. And so just this year, they won't be able, the people won't be able to provide their offerings because the lands are less bountiful. The Grenger snag is woken up, and so they need to call in some heroes from other lands. And so the magical wizard of the land has summoned some heroes, and you need to find who's taken the crystal, and maybe the Grenger snag is on a rampage. You need to slay the evil beast, or you go and check out the dragon, or maybe the evil warlock of, again, Death Mountain or Skull and Bones Mountain, as I have it kind of added in here. Maybe he's, because he's also launching the skeleton. His skeleton army is on the move, and the orcs of the Badlands are on the move. They sense weakness, and the time is right. So there's lots of things you can do with this world I've created. I got a mystical pyramid at the top and a forest of crystals. It's awoken ever since the crystal of Zindelfin was taken, so maybe that's got something to do with it. The party can check there. I have a mystical door atop one of the tallest mountains of the land. It requires you can kind of, however many keys you want to play it, however many locations there are on the world. Maybe each location has a hidden key or a mystical key in itself, and the party needs to gather all of them. And maybe that's how they end up going home and returning once they've completed everything, or else maybe it could lead them to different realms and whatnot. But if the party wants to stick around and continue, and they never want to leave Zindelfin, when everything's all said and done, at the very tippity top in the center, I have the mega dungeon of the many towers. And you can just the towers keep rising and ascending, and more towers into the sky, and so you can just have your party run through an epic, never-ending dungeon if you want. But yeah, fun things you could play here, I thought. Definitely thought I did a better job at this one. I think maybe next time I do a world map, I might try my hand at not making it so cartoony and not colored in. I might just go with the old black and white style and try a more, maybe, Tolkien-esque style map. More believable to the eye, but I'm still a lot more happier with this one. Gonna quiet down for a bit though and let you finish watching me color and sketch this one out. The Lands of Zendelphin. And there you go, the Lands of Zendelphin. You can see it all sprawled out before you. The top there, Mount Cthulhu, the many dungeons, Skull Mountain. There's the Kingdom of Zendelphia. 2 little town locations I got. You can see the Cave of the Grenger Beast, Ogre Mountains, the Hill Giant, castle, the Pyramid with the Crystal Forest, the Badlands there, the desert with the crevice there where goblins live, and the Orc Stronghold. There's that tower, the many towers. Fantastical door. Behold the Lands of Zendelphin. And there you have it, my 2 attempts at drawing out some world maps. I thought I did a pretty decent job, only gonna get better from here on out. But tune in next time when I come back to trying to doodle out some of my homebrew monsters. I think first up will be the Feywild Riddlewing. Check that one out. Homebrewed it myself. But until then, this is Dungeon Doodles. I'm B-rad Fresco, the Jack Pencil, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/dungeondoodles. Support me if you want. It would be great. If not, cool. Peace out.